If you are looking for bets for UFC Winnipeg, look no further. You've landed on the right video. How we doing, everybody? They call me Young Pace. Do you know why? Look at this white skin here, right? The whitest in the game. And I am here today to give you all of my official bets for UFC Winnipeg. I got 6 bangers coming your way absolutely free. That's how we do things around here. And you know how else we do things around here? We always recap last week. Let's pull the results up here. And it was basically a break-even week. Minus 2.182 units, so a tiny little loss. But I'm just going to say something here real quick. Okay? I deserve to put these on. We put these on every time we have a profitable week. I deserve to put these on. You know why? Because Chris Padilla got screwed, which screwed the whole dang world, okay? Bet number 1 was plus 151. Since the Padilla fight got marked as a draw, bet number 1 reverted to a single bet on Gamrot, which was minus 190. So we should have been profitable. Chris Padilla won that fight. It is complete BS that 1 hour after the fight, you change the scores on the scorecard and then tell everybody the fight was a draw. You know what happened, guys? You guys know what happened. Ring! A Vegas call. Vegas called the UFC. They said you got to avoid or mark the Chris Padilla fight as a draw so we can get all our money back. Because they lost so much money on Chris Padilla. He was a big favorite. Everybody bet on him. And he ended up coming through. And, we all get screwed because of it. Even Chris Padilla, he's not getting paid now because of the draw. So I am terribly disappointed and very upset at bet number 1. But let's go over the other ones. Bet number 2. Whew. Round of applause to Paulo Costa. I keep doubting the guy and he keeps coming through. Beat an up-and-coming, surging Mirzakhanov. Made it look like it was easy. The 3-pick parlay of the week. Bet number 3. Man, it's like 3 or 4 weeks in a row now. One leg. We're getting screwed on things here, man. Kelvin Gastelum getting submitted in the first round by the ghost and shell of Vicente Luque? Yeah, fight started round 2 and both of those other fights that, we had on here. Doesn't matter, though. Kelvin lost it for us. Now, bet 4 and bet 5. These, I don't know. I should have made these freaking bet number 2 and bet number 3. Seemed like easy money. Tatiana Suarez, like I said, had a clear grappling advantage over Lupe Godinez. Gets a sub in the second round. Very glad I didn't bet on that women's fight for the rounds because I was kind of debating it. And then Cub Swanson. Easy work over Nate Landwehr, puts the gloves down, and like I said, he hops on his horse and he rides off into the sunset with a happy retirement. So, like I said, I deserve to put on the handmade crochet boxing gloves this week, but we don't get to because of that BS with the Chris Padilla fight. So, yeah, minus 2.182 units last week. Let's get that taste out of our mouth, guys. This is our week. UFC Winnipeg. Okay, I got 6 bets. 6 bangers coming your way. We sort them in confidence. Bet number 1 is always my most confident play of the week. And then it goes on down from there. So let's get to it here, folks. The official bets for UFC Winnipeg. Bet number 1, my most confident play of the week. We're going with Charles Jourdain. Charles Air Jourdain, minus 148. We're putting 2.3 units on it. He's taking on Kyler Phillips. I don't trust the cardio of Kyler Phillips, man. He looks awful after the first round. First round, looking good. On point. Bunch of volume. Movements on point. He looks dang good in the first round. If I could get the version of Kyler Phillips for 3 rounds, then I would be betting him all day here. But that's just not the reality of things here, man. All of his losses, even some of the wins here too. He is gassing in the second, in the third round. Coming off 2 straight losses to Rob Font, then Vinicius Oliveira. Yeah, they're ranked. Yeah, they're good competition. And so is Charles Jourdain. Okay, I think people are sleeping on Charles Jourdain. The number's actually better than minus 148 right now. It's like minus 135. So if you like bet number 1, if you like Charles Jourdain, go run to the bet counter right now because the odds are pretty dang good and I don't see them getting any better from there. Anywho, why I think Charles Jourdain's going to win the fight, I trust his cardio. Okay? We've seen him go 4 or 5 rounds. We've seen him go 3 rounds. He's going to be much bigger than Kyler Phillips, moving down from featherweight, okay? He's down, fighting here at 135. He's a big 135er. And you'll see it in the octagon. I think he has a lot more power. Speed advantage, I'll give it to Kyler in the first round, but not the second and the third round. And everyone knows about that Charles Jourdain ghillie. All right, if you get caught in that ghillie, if Kyler Phillips comes in shooting with a naked neck, Jourdain's going to wrap that thing up and he's going to call it a day. Now, if he's shooting ghillie more than 3 times, I'll tell you right now, if he shoots ghillie more than 3 times, ends up on his back, I'm betting on Kyler Phillips live. All right? Because if you're pulling desperate ghillies and then end up on your back and letting the other person get on top of you, it's over, man. It is completely over. But I trust Charles Jourdain to win me round 2 and round 3. Maybe even get a finish when Kyler is super tired. Maybe a club and sub kind of thing. I think he's better in the grappling department. Striking wise, he may be a little bit slower, but he's going to turn up in the second and third round, and he's going to land the more powerful shots. He's fighting at home in Canada. He lost last time in Canada. He don't want that again. All right? He's the co-main event. So I got a lot of faith in Charles Jourdain this week. Minus 148 is a good number to me. He's at minus 135. It's even better now. We're putting 2.3 units on it. That's bet number 1, my most confident play of the week. Let's freaking go. Next bet number 2. A little 2-pick parlay, okay? Quite fitting for bet number 2. And we're going with the ladies, and we're going with the Canadian ladies, and we're going with the old Canadian ladies. Jamie Lynn Horth, Jasmine Jastovicius. Plus 119, we're putting 2 units on it. Let's go over each fighter. Jamie Lynn Horth taking on J.J. Aldrich. I mean, once I hear the name J.J. Aldrich, I'm very inclined to already pick the other person. But Jamie Lynn's been looking good, right? Her kicks are on point. She's super powerful. She's really good in the clinch. She can mix in wrestling and grappling, and she does pretty good on the fence. But I don't see her taking down J.J. Aldrich. J.J. Aldrich does have some pretty decent boxing, okay? And what I'm kind of concerned about is her, turning up the volume on Jamie Lynn. Jamie Lynn's a little slow. I'll give the speed advantage to J.J. Aldrich, but the power, the grit, fighting at home in Canada, Jamie Lynn has all of that. And she's just coming off a nasty KO over Teresa Bleda. Now, yes, Teresa Bleda claims she was injured, just showing up for a paycheck. Makes it look easy for Jamie Lynn. But she's had good fights in the UFC. Even her losses, man, she's not looked too terrible. So I got faith in Jamie Lynn Horth. J.J. Aldrich really isn't that good. 10-6 in the UFC. She only fights old people. When I say old, like 35, 36, but like she's 30. But like she just fought like an Andrea Lee who's 40 years old. Like look at her resume. All right, she's fighting all oldies in the UFC. They're trying to give her another one here, but this is an oldie that ain't going out like a bitch. Okay, so Jamie Lynn Horth is going to take care of business. Then Jasmine Jastovicius taking on Karine Silva. I was tempted to take Karine Silva at an underdog tag, but the number just didn't get there. It's maybe plus 350, plus 400, something wild like that. I'm probably siding there, but I think Jasmine's going to do what she does to all the other fighters, what she did on her win streak, even though it was a little bit of a suspect win streak, and she's just coming off a brutal KO over Manon Fiorot. She's going to get the takedowns. She's going to use the ground and pound. She could even find a finish on the mat. Once Jasmine takes you down, man, and Karine Silva can get taken down. We saw her get taken down and handled by Barbosa. She should have lost that fight. She didn't win that fight versus Barbosa. Jasmine can do the same thing, except Jasmine's actually going to inflict damage on the ground rather than just hold her and move and stay on top of position. So I got a lot of faith in Jasmine, and I think she's going to end up getting a late finish over Karine Silva, just beating the crap out of her. Her sitting on Mount on top of her, just throwing down shots. That's what I kind of envision. So bet number 2, the little 2-pick parlay, the old Canadian ladies. Jamie Lynn Horth, Jasmine Jastovicius, plus 119. We're putting 2 units on it. That's bet number 2 of the week. Let's go. On to the next one. Bet number 3, our 3-pick parlay of the week. If you don't know what it is, let me tell you. We find 3 good legs. We put them all together to get a good number. Bet number 3, the 3-pick parlay of the week. It started off hot in 2026. Okay, we hit like 6 or 7 times in a row with bet number 3. And now it's been 3 or 4 weeks where bet number 3 has just lost by 1 leg. And this is where we redeem ourselves, okay? UFC Winnipeg is where we redeem ourselves. This is what I got for our 3-pick parlay of the week. Nascimento, Barbosa, and fight to start round 2 in the Croden versus Daria fight. Plus 103, we're putting 1.5 units on it. Let's go over each leg. Nascimento taking on Mitch Raposa. I don't think Mitch Raposa is UFC caliber. Even after that win over Maxim. What that fight showed me was Maxim is also not UFC caliber if you're letting a Mitch Raposa beat you. Now he's taking on a submission ace, a jiu-jitsu king, in Alan Nascimento. I think it's going to be light work. I think it's going to be a second round submission. I think Nascimento's going to find the takedown. Basically control the first round. Then when the second round comes, he'll know all of Raposo's kind of defenses and movements on the round, and he'll snatch up probably something easy, probably just like a rear naked choke. So I like Alan Nascimento in this spot. I think it's a good matchup for him. Now, if he's a takedown or bust. He's a takedown or bust. I'm not going to lie. If he's sitting there standing and striking with Mitch Raposa, even though he doesn't throw a lot of strikes and is dancing around a lot, he's probably better in striking than Nascimento is. But I don't trust the grappling. I don't trust the takedown defense. Nascimento's going to get the takedown. He's going to submit Mitch Raposa. I mean, he did it to Jafel Filo, man. That's a pretty good dang competition. If you put Jafel Filo up against Mitch Raposa, Jafel Filo's messing him up. All right, so I like Alan Nascimento in that spot. Next, Barbosa. Taking on Buzukja. His UFC debut. A win off a Dana White Contender Series. Most of his fights don't last long. He's only been to decision once. He did win, but he's only been to decision once. He has a couple losses. All right, to Gabriel Santos, somebody else, a pretty good competition he's losing to. Barbosa hits hard, man. Buzukja is not really... he has a win over Connor Matthews, but he just really hasn't looked the best, to be honest with you. Buzukja's best chance at winning this fight is to survive that fire and that storm in the first round and try to win the second two rounds. Rely on, Barbosa gassing out. But, you'll see Barbosa coming at you like a madman. He's going to be stalking you down like you're his prey. He is going to come straight at you. He's not going to let you breathe. You better be firing back because he's going to be firing. Barbosa is probably going to knock out Buzukja. I don't like the Jamal Emmers knockout look. Not very good. Came very early, too. Jamal Emmers is, before the UFC, I guess, known to be a heavy-handed striker, but he's really not finishing people in the UFC. So it's not a good look there, Buzukja. So I'm taking Barbosa, and he's probably going to finish him in the first round. Let's be honest. And then lastly, hopefully the easiest leg. Fight to start round 2 in the Croden versus Daria fight. Now, I know Daria's fights haven't lasted long the past 2 fights, right? But Croden's a durable girl. Daria's also a durable girl. It's probably going to be a striking match. A finish is going to happen later, if it does at all. Fight to start round 2 should be a gimme there. So, recap over the 3-pick parlay of the week. We got Nascimento, we got Barbosa, and we got fight to start round 2 in the Croden versus Daria fight, plus 103, plus money. We're putting 1.5 units on it. That's the 3-pick parlay of the week. Let's go. Moving on to bet number 4. And before we get into that, guys, if you are new around here or if you have not, do me a favor. Click that subscribe button for me. We are on the road to 400. We're sitting at 384. I just need 16 of you guys to click that little digital button for me. Goes a long way, and I would greatly appreciate it. Now, bet number 4. We're taking Thiago Moises, plus 110. We're putting 1.5 units on it. There's 2 ways, or 2 things that are going to win Thiago Moises this fight. Leg kicks and takedowns. Now, all of his wins I've seen here recently, he doesn't go for the takedown in the first round. He'll kind of strike with you a little bit. He'll batter that leg up. And then come second and third round, he's shooting for the takedown immediately and holding you down on the ground. Gage Young, good prospect. I like him. I think he's a fun fighter. Had a good fight with Evan Elder. Picked Evan Elder on that fight, and bet on him too. Because he's just not there yet, man. Thiago Moises has been there, done that. Gone up against some of the best competition in the UFC. He's losing to killers. All right? Besides Jared Gordon. Okay, I know it's a bad look coming off the Jared Gordon loss. But, he's like losing to Islam. He's losing to BSD. He's losing to Beneil Dariush. These are title contenders. You know what I mean? And now they're giving him an unranked Gage Young. Gage Young eats a lot of leg kicks. Thiago Moises loves to kick legs. He TKO'd somebody with leg kicks. Okay, so his leg kicks are brutal and nasty. Gage Young can't really be eating too many of those. So after he batters up the leg in the first round, he's going for the takedown in the second and the third round. Honestly, I think he's probably going to get the submission in the second round. Gage Young probably, he's going to strike with me. There's no way the takedowns are going to come. Nope, they're going to come. He always goes for the take in his wins. In his past wins, he'll strike in the first round, then go for the takedown in the second and the third round. But when he gets that takedown, you ain't getting up, okay? He's just levels and levels above Gage Young when it comes to, grappling, jiu-jitsu. When it comes to other things, I can't say that. Okay, is there the fear of Thiago Moises getting chinned like he did last time? Yeah, definitely there is. But everybody has that fear in the UFC. Anybody could get knocked out by a heavy hand. So I am banking on a Thiago Moises submission. Honestly, I got a little sprinkle on Moises submission round 2. That's when I think it happens. Because he's going to strike one in the first round. Gage Young ain't going to be expecting. He's going to get the takedown. He's going to work to get to the back. Lock up that choke. Thiago Moises, plus 110. We're putting 1.5 units on it. That's bet number 4 of the week. Let's go. Moving on to bet number 5. We're taking John Castenada, minus 125. We're putting 1.5 units on it. This is crazy. I didn't think the odds would be like this. I mean, only minus 125 for John Castenada? They're giving a lot of love to Vologdin for that amazing Dana White Contender Series fight. Yeah, it was good, but let's just state facts here. He lost. His face was brutally beat up compared to the other guy. And he absorbed like 160 strikes, man. And on top of all that, he's a shorty for 135. He is very, very tiny. He also has a baby face. Looks like a dang 3-year-old in there with some huge muscles. But John Casteneda he's going to teach him a vet lesson, man. He's going to teach him a vet lesson. I think that if he doesn't use the takedowns, it probably won't go too well for him. But I think he's going to get a lot of timely takedowns and wrestle. Like, wrestle John Casteneda. That is a strong suit in your game that sometimes he doesn't utilize. So I hope that he's starting to wrestle and grapple early, get some takedowns over Vologdin, because he can win minutes that way. Also, on top of that, much taller, much longer. He could fight at range with Vologdin and just kind of pick him apart too. So after the first round, if John Casteneda is still standing, I don't think Vologdin has too good of a chance. So I'm going to go with the bet. I'm taking John Casteneda. Minus 125 is a great number. I thought he'd be like minus 180, minus 190. I know he got knocked out by, Willie Cat Santos, but he was looking good in that first round. You can't lie. Everyone and anybody can get knocked out, okay? But it's not going to be John Casteneda on Saturday night. It's going to be John Casteneda getting his hand raised by decision. So John Casteneda, money line, minus 125. We're putting 1.5 units on it. That's bet number 5 of the week. Let's go. Last bet number 6. We're taking fight to start round 3 in the Nallo versus Herbert fight, minus 106. We're putting 1 unit on it, almost even money for the fight to start just round 3. Yes, I know over 2.5 rounds is like plus 130, plus 140. If you want that, take that. But I'm just taking fight to start round 3. All right, there could be a 3-round finish or a 3rd-round finish. What I'm kind of anticipating is Nallo kind of gassing out the end, and then Herbert maybe getting a round 3 or a decision. So I think that's a good kind of spot to land on there. If you like the Herbert side, is round 3 or by decision. But Nallo, man, I don't think he's UFC caliber. A former Bellator guy had to go on Dana White Contender Series to prove that he was UFC worthy. Now they're putting him high up on the main card here in UFC Winnipeg in Canada, his home country. Everyone's expecting him to get a finish, a KO or a sub, and I just don't see that happening. I don't. Herbert's durable. He's been to decision his last 5 fights over UFC talent. Nallo's going to decision in Bellator. I don't like it. It's not a good look. I'm not on the hype train of Nallo. Honestly, I think Herbert wins by decision. Herbert round 3 or decision, I think, is a good play. Then you're going to ask, oh, well, Pasty, if you believe in Jai Herbert so much, why are you not betting him? Look, if I'm getting even money for the fight to start round 3 in a fight that I think is going to go distance, I'm going to take that all day. I don't care who wins. Okay, yeah, Herbert's at plus 145. You get a little bit extra if I'm taking the side. You know what, guys? If we're doing good on the bets throughout the night, I might even add in Jai Herbert at bet number 7. You never know. But all I'm asking for here is fight to start round 3, and I think it's very, very doable. Fight start round 3. Nallo versus Herbert. Minus 106. We're putting 1 unit on it. That's bet number 6 of the week. Let's go. All right, folks, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching all the bets. I appreciate your support. If you could do it for me, click that button down there, subscribe button. We're on the road to 400. We're sitting at 384 right now. We've been kind of flatlined at 384. So if you guys could do me a favor, click that digital button. It goes a long way. Secondly, check out my Patreon, guys. It's free. Links in the description. That's where you can see all of my bets when I place them. Okay, I put all these bets out yesterday at these odds. Most times we're ahead of the odds. Okay, you gotta get in on the bets early in the week, because come fight time, everyone's been betting all week. You're probably not gonna get the odds that you want if you bet the bet earlier in the week. That's why I got you covered. Okay, we send the email out. You're notified when a bet gets placed, and nobody's worried. Okay, now at the end of the day, okay, line shopping don't matter if your bet doesn't win. But you always want CLV. You always want closing line value, okay? When the fight starts, you want to have better odds than what the odds are at the current time. And that's why I put these bets out earlier in the week for you guys. So let's have a good week at UFC Winnipeg. All right, I broke it down. I gave you the bets. After kind of talking about things, I'm a little bit excited, a little more hyped up prior to the beginning of the week after coming off a UFC 327. I was like, man, look at this little stinker of a card. And yeah, there are some crappy fights on it. I'm not going to lie. But we found our spots. And let's have a good week at UFC Winnipeg. Young Pasty, out. Let's go.